Hello everyone. In continuation with the inverse Laplace transform, we'll be just going ahead and watching this and going through the linearity property of this. By the end of the session, you'll be able to state the linearity property for ILT, that is inverse Laplace transform, and evaluate the inverse Laplace transform of the functions using the linearity property. Now, linearity property states that if the Laplace inverse of f1 of s is f1 of t, and Laplace inverse of f2 of s is equals to f2 of t, then Laplace inverse of a f1 of s plus b times f2 of s is equals to a times f1 of t plus b times f2 of t. So this is where a and b are the constants. So this is what is known as the linearity property for inverse Laplace transform. So this linearity property for inverse Laplace transform is almost similar to that of the linearity property of Laplace transform. The only difference is with this the notation, that is L inverse. Now L inverse has been come with f1 of s. Otherwise, if we will observe the linearity property for Laplace transform, it is on a similar lines. Instead of that, we have just a few changes, but the property states the same. And let us go for a few examples. Find the inverse Laplace transform of s square plus 9s minus 9 upon s cube minus 9s. So f of s, so whatever has been given to me, this example, in this example, this is my f of s. So this has been given to me as f of s, which is s squared plus 9s minus 9 upon s cube minus 9s. So this is what is it. So s cube minus 9s, s is outside because s has been taken common from this denominator, and it is s square minus 9 in the bracket. If we'll just divide, you can say that separate the numerator here, it would give me s square minus 9 upon s into s square minus 9. So this s square will go off from the first term and I'll remain here with just 1 by s, and from the second s will go off and I'll remain here with 9 upon s square minus 9, which is now Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1, what we have seen in the previous, that is first session of the inverse Laplace transform, and this is nothing but by elementary transformations. And Laplace inverse of a upon s square minus a square is equals to sine hyperbolic at. Okay, so now let us go ahead. So Laplace inverse of f of s. So now we are applying here the Laplace inverse both the sides. So because of this linearity property, L inverse will go with 1 by s. L inverse will go with 9 upon s square minus 9 also. And out of that, this 9 is a constant with respect to L inverse. So this has come out as this has come for this b over here, something like this. And therefore, Laplace inverse of 1 by s is 1, and it is 9 into Laplace inverse of 1 upon s square minus 9. So Laplace inverse of a upon s square minus a square is sine hyperbolic at, and therefore it is sine hyperbolic at by a. As I have told you in the previous session also, this a you can take it in the denominator here. So this a, what is a over here? It's a 9 here. 9 means my value of small a is equals to 3. So it is 3 square, right? 3 square. And therefore it is 9 by 3 L inverse of 1 upon s square minus. So it's 9 by 3. L inverse of this will give me sine hyperbolic 3t. And therefore it is 9 by 3 sine hyperbolic 3t. And this is 1 plus 3 times sine hyperbolic 3t. One more example, it's 3 times s square minus 2 the whole square by 2 s to the power 5. So this is my f of s been given to me. Now we'll do that, this s square minus 2 the whole square. So it is a plus minus b the whole square. So it is a square minus 2ab plus b square. And therefore it is 3 by 2 times s to the power 4 minus 4s squared plus 4 upon s to the power 5. Again, separating the numerator and the denominator here, you can say the numerator here. So I can do that. It is s to the power 4 upon s to the power 5 minus 4 upon s square upon s to the power 5. So in between step over here, if you wanted to have this in between step, it is 3 by 2. It is s to the power 4 upon s to the power 5 minus 4s square upon s to the power 5 plus 4 upon s to the power 5. And this way we have got s to the power 4 in the numerator, denominator s to the power 5, and therefore we have got just 1 by s. Similarly here 4s upon s cube plus 4 upon s to the power 5. and then we are applying the Laplace inverse of both the sides. So it is Laplace inverse of f of s is 3 by 2 out because it's a constant. L inverse of 1 by s minus 4 again constant. L inverse of 1 upon s cube. 4 again is a constant. L inverse of 1 upon s to the power 5. L inverse of 1 upon s to the power n plus 1 is equals to 1 upon n factorial t to the power n. So why are we using this n factorial form? Because everywhere if you observe this is to the power 1, to the power 3, to the power 5, and therefore my t to the power, it would be something, this would be a z positive z, or you can say the positive integer, and therefore I have to go for n factorial form rather than to go for gamma of n plus 1. Obviously you will get the same answer by both the formula, but it is advisable to have this n factorial instead of gamma of n plus 1, so that you can understand that particular formula properly. And therefore it is 3 by 2, 1 minus 4 times a t square upon 2 factorial plus 4 times t to the power 4 upon 4 factorial. After simplification we will get 3 by 2, 1 minus 2 t square plus t to the power 4 by 6, and which is same as 3 by 2 times 3 by 2 minus 3 t square plus t to the power 4 by 4, and therefore my simplified version of the answer is this, which is 1 by 4 times t to the power 4 minus 12 t square plus 6. This is what is the answer for this particular question. Then the Laplace inverse Laplace transform of 4s plus 15 upon 16 s square minus 25. Purposely I have taken this question here. So this is, we'll come to know why. It's 4s plus 15 upon 16 into s square minus 25 by 16. So it is, what is happened here, this 16 I have taken it outside from the denominator. While taking this 16 outside from the denominator, it will get divided to the minus 25 term. So it is the term. So you can say that this 16 has come out of this denominator. I've got this term here as, now if you'll observe this 1 upon 4. So let us wait for this 1 by 4 first. Sorry. So it is 4s upon s square minus 25 by 16. So this 4, this is 4 and this is 16 will give me 1 by 4, which is s upon s square minus 25 by 16, plus second term is 15 upon 16 into s square minus 25 by 16. Then if we'll apply the Laplace inverse, because of the linearity property, 1 by 4 and 15 by 4, they are the constant. They will be outside the Laplace inverse term or Laplace inverse operator, and it is there inside the bracket s upon s square minus 25 by 16 and 1 upon s square minus 25 by 16. Now Laplace inverse of a upon s square minus a square is sine hyperbolic at, and Laplace inverse of s upon s square minus a square is cos hyperbolic at. So now we have to identify what would be a in both the cases. So though this is s over here, this is, there is no s, but if you'll observe, this is my a square in both the terms. So what would be my a? A is equals to 5 by 4, and therefore my a square is nothing but 5 by 4, the square is to, which is equals to 25 by 16. So what I need to identify, I need to identify my a. A is 5 by 4, and therefore 1 by 4 times cos hyperbolic 5 by 4t plus, now it is because of this 3 over here, it will come in the denominator here with sine hyperbolic at. This will come in the denominator, but as we have got a as 5 by 4, it will give me 4 by 5, and therefore I've got this 15 by 4. So I will get this 3 by 4 out of 15 by 4 into 4 by 5, and therefore it is nothing but so it's nothing but like this, and sine hyperbolic 5 by 4 times t. So this would be the, I think it's 4 should not come here because of this this 4 would, okay, this is 16, right? This is 16. I think I have made a mistake here. Sorry, this is 16 over here. Yeah, this is 16. I think I have made this previously. Yeah, so because of this is 16 here, and therefore I will get my this 4 and this is 4. Okay, so therefore it is 3 by, so it's 5 and this is 3. So it's 3 by 4 times sine hyperbolic 5 by t. So I think I'm correct over here. Yeah. Fine. So this is what is 3 by 4 times sine hyperbolic 5 by 4 times t. And this is the favorite of mine, which is self-observation. And these are the 3 questions I've given it to you. Along with the answers, just go ahead with the questions, solve those questions. check the answer whether you're getting the same answer. If not, go back to the video again and check whether you're getting the same answer after trying it again. Thank you. Happy learning.